Alright guys, I just downloaded a 3D ruler, so that's a thing. Quite pleased with myself. It will help me to make sure that things are to scale when I go to 3D print them. I can measure them in 3D software, knowing that the size of my ruler is in sync with the size of real life. So if it's 10 centimeters when measured with the 3D ruler, it will be 10 centimeters when I print it out. That's good information to know, to be able to measure things in your software. Free3D.com has a lot of nice stuff I'm seeing. I want to download a bunch of these free 3D models just for my video game and whatever. I don't know. I might need them. I want them. Please, just give them to me. Alright. Let's do this. Dak nabbit. Oh! Why am I downloading a building? That's ridiculous. Come on now. Let's get real. Let's be serious. I gotta try to look at it more as like things I actually might need. Dang it. If I ever make a video game, I'm gonna want a lot of this stuff. I don't know, man. What am I doing? What the heck am I doing? It's so hard not to download like a bunch of these free models because they're free and stuff. Ugh, I don't have any self-control with this. I feel like if I'm making a video game, right? These models can go in my game. Don't you agree? I like this art style. What if I made my whole game with this art style? It's so cute. I feel like I can get inspiration from this. You guys know I'm making MMO, right? Alright, that is pretty bad. Is it cheating if you just download a bunch of free models and make a video game with that? I don't think that's cheating at all, actually. That's smart. Really smart. Not gonna lie. I feel like I can make a game just by figuring out how to download... Or no, figuring out how to make all of these free models make sense within a game. Like just download them all and then make a game based upon making these models somehow fit into a story. It'd be the most random game ever. Like every model could be a chapter or like, I don't know, like just putting them all together in a creative way. that would make the game make sense at the end. I feel like that's such a great idea. Just formulating a game around the models. Like, making it a rule as you make your game that you're not allowed to actually sculpt anything. You have to use all these free models. It sounds like such a fun way to go about this. I know I can make a whole video game based upon just free stuff. Like, this building could be a whole level of a Hitman type of game. You have to sneak into the building, infiltrate, etc. That's a creepy little thing. How the heck can there be free water model? I'm so confused right now. Definitely need shipping containers if you're going to make a game like PUBG. Definitely need a lot of guns. Definitely need a lot of snakes. This is just funny, man. Definitely need this house if I'm gonna make Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm gonna make all the art for my MMORPG. No, it's okay if they're different art styles. That's the funny part. That would make the game all the more like head scratching and entertaining, seeing all these different art styles just kind of merged in. It'd be totally random. Maybe that'd be unprofessional, but it might actually be pretty funny. Why the heck would I want to make an app game first? You guys know that I'm the most intelligent person on Earth. I don't need to start off with beginner projects. I've already made apps. You guys are talking to the big leagues here. I'm not no amateur. Man, all these free models make me want to make like a lot of video games. Just all using nothing but free models. Just like pound out some really cool games. I feel like you could do it so fast if you've got all these free models. Beep up beep up boop boop boop. Beep up beep boop 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 boop. Beep 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 boop 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 dee dee doo dee doo. Da da doo dee doo dee da. Da 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 dee 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 da 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 da. I'm definitely gonna need a sheep for my MMO. Definitely gonna need boxes. Maybe not that kind of boxes. I'm finding a lot of these to be rather applicable to the game I want to make. And then a bunch are just like, oh, I just want to have this in case if I ever did want to make some other game. I feel like, I don't know. I should make more than one video game, shouldn't I, guys? Why settle for one? I should make like 3. In my opinion. It's pretty lame to just make one. Ooh, that's definitely going in my game. I feel like it'd be too hard to make a game like in an open city, like Grand Theft Auto. Do you know how much crap you'd have to put in a level? Oh my goodness. Ooh, I definitely want that wolf. It'd be so fun just to make a game, man. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's gotta be done, guys. I feel like I'm hoarding these models right now. Beep boop beep boop 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 boop. Definitely want that horse. Oh, I can't believe I almost missed the horse. Oh, a whole city. You make a whole video game using that city. Guys, I feel like I have to make a bunch of video games now. What the? Wouldn't that be funny, man? This inspires me so much. Just a whole video game made of free models, just inspired by the models. It's a hilarious idea. But the rule is you have to use all free models. You have to you have to find a way to make your whole game based on that. This just makes my creativity go through the roof looking at this stuff. Oh, look at that minigun. It's so cool. A train yard? Oh, I can make a whole FPS game level off that train yard. That looks like a Counter-Strike map. Medieval catapult. A shark. Reminds me of that pirate game Lyric's always playing lately. This is too good. A bear. It's kind of a crappy bear, but whatever. It's a free bear! How can you say no to a free bear? A wooden guard tower, nice. A house. A cigarette. All these planes. I don't know if I'm gonna need planes in my video game. That's a pretty good face. That's so good. It's on me, dog. I'm not even gonna download that Kung Fu Panda model. Or that weed plant. Ooh, a tiger. I don't know if a tiger would fit on anything, but whatever. That's a pretty art style. Like, I can copy any art style, so if I like something, I can just be inspired by it. That toilet paper roll model is so stupid. Look at the size of the thing compared to the roll. It's not even... well, I'm for sure making one video game, which is gonna be called David. But I might make, like, maybe a zombie survival game. I know it's cliche, but I don't care. It'll be like all the other cliche games like that. I mean, there's so many. Who cares? There... That'd be fun for me to make. I would think that that's pretty cool. Or if it's not a zombie survival, it could be werewolves. Or it could be like the show The Strain that has vampire outbreak. Vampire survival game. What's wrong with that, console cowboy? Have I played H1Z1 survival? No, but I've watched walkthroughs of a bunch of survival games. Like The Last of Us. I've watched that whole game. You know, it'd be fun to make something like that. It's not unfeasible. I'm just gonna copy all of these models and then make a video game from it. I'm already gonna have a video game engine, so it won't be hard to make more games off the engine. Besides, you never know if I might want to outsource some of my video game to a gaming studio after I rough out the outline or create the first level, like a sample, and then have them commission them to make the rest of the game. And I created the game design, the rules, the engine, and all they have to do is go in and make the rest of the levels and storylines and the trailer and do all the marketing. I could work with a game studio at some point. I could hire them out. You know, if I've got millions of dollars in the future from all my successful projects, I'd for sure be able to do something like that. No problem. I could even create my own game studio, hire a manager and a team, and just have them make games that I want to make, and I'll start them, and then my team can finish them. Just like Notch created Minecraft. He like made Minecraft, but it was like really crappy, nothing like today's Minecraft. But then he released it as beta, got a lot of feedback, worked on it for a few years, and then put together a team, and then stepped back, and his team took it over and brought it to the Minecraft it is today, and it was a big success. So you could go that route, just like make a simple game, very basic with just a basic concept, and then step back and put a team over it, and then your involvement ends there, and then you get to see it come to life according to your vision. But you still got to get credit for being the original creator, even though a team like made it more than what you left it off as. I think that's a cool way to do it. That's totally legit. I think it'd be fun to make like a scary game. Like Amnesia. Using all free models from this website, free3d.com. Hospital bed. That reminds me of that game, Metal Gear Solid, I don't know, the most recent one, where he wakes up in a hospital bed, and that's the start of the game. It's super exciting. A game like that would be super fun to make. That's the kind of game, man. That or something like Telltale Games The Walking Dead. Something where it's really like story based, and like you play certain scenes, but there's a lot of cutscenes and cinematics, and it just follows a story. So you play certain stuff, but it's more of an interactive story than an actual like open world game. So I don't actually think I'm building an MMO. That was like a joke. We said it's an MMO, but it's not going to be an MMO at all. I don't even know what you call that kind of game, like interactive story game, like Solid Snake or whatever. I should make a game where we build a robot. Hey, this isn't interfering with robot time at all. Wow. She'd make a good main character. Where'd she go? I love the artistic style of her, but I can improve on the model. She doesn't look that realistic proportion-wise, but really cool model. That'd be a good like survival chick in a zombie apocalypse game. I'm not a chunky monkey. I'm downloading models. Ooh, Koenigsegg. I like those cars. I'm downloading free 3D models for my video game projects of the future. I'm gonna be making a bunch of video games. Mark my words. So we need. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome! Oh, it's so easy to make video games if you've got all the guns, the props, the buildings, and even the bad guys. Oh, I just want to make a game. I can even have giant killer ants that attack you. It could be the most random thing too. But I just want to make a game using these free models. Just like shove them all into a game. Just like all the really good models. I feel like that's totally doable. I'm on page 23 out of 161. And I'm downloading everything. It's so fun downloading this stuff because I can just see making games from it. It'd be so fun. A stone well. Where'd it go? That is so good. That could go in my David game. I'm for sure gonna have to make more than one game. I can see that right now. You guys know me. I always go big. I never go small. So if I'm gonna make one video game, I'm gonna make several. That's obvious. Like, why would you make one video game? That's so stupid. You might as well not make any video games if you're only gonna make one. Ooh, that would make a good bad guy. Definitely gotta have him in my game. Definitely gotta have that motorcycle in my game. Definitely gotta have these birds in my game. Definitely gotta have this book in my game. Definitely need a helicopter in my game. Definitely need this boat in my game. Definitely need this cabin. Definitely need this dog. Definitely need this road barrier. Definitely need this industrial fan. Ooh, weathered ruins. Definitely need these weathered ruins. Definitely need this RPG and this old truck. Man, they're making this so easy! Do you guys realize how easy it will be to make a video game? Wow, they even have clouds! This is gonna be so easy to make a game with all this stuff. I'm putting so many of these models in my games. My games are going to be based on these models now. I'm going to make levels. I'm going to be like, what should the next level be? And I'm just going to scroll through my models and be like, oh yeah, that's going to be something. Like, I'll just pick a bunch of models that go together and make a level from that. It's that easy. Want that fruit stand. Want these teeth. I can't believe I paid for models when they were free. I don't know. The ones I paid for, though, were really good. Very accurate anatomy models. So I'm not gonna regret it. Once you've got your props, you just drag and drop. That's pretty much it. I mean, if you're a genius video game engine builder, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to make a million video games. I just want to make like 4 or 5. I mean, pretty much after that, you're going to have it covered. I want like, you know, some scary game with some shooting element, like kind of running away type of thing. And then I want like, you know, a little taste of each of the 4 or 5 different types of cool games that I like to watch people play or play. Alright, my PC's a little laggy. Guys, it's not about making a ton of games. It's about making 4 or 5 games with... I mean, obviously you're going to have many levels. So one of the levels of the game might require a whale. A castle? Ooh, definitely want that. Definitely want this office chair. Definitely want this bench. Definitely need beer. Oh, that one thing on page 1 I need. That alcohol bottle. These buildings and rooms are going to be so useful. It's like all the hard work, all this artwork would be so hard to make. Like, I know. I've made artwork for games before. I was part of a zombie shooter game development team. We were building a video game. And I was the team's 3D modeler. I was sculpting guns and zombies. And it was not easy. Alright, I gotta start from the beginning though. Because when I first started looking for models, I was looking for models for my original game I was planning. But now that I've been inspired by this website to make several video games, I had 231 tabs open. That's hilarious. Yes, I'm gonna download like 1,000 models, and that will be enough to build several video games. And it's gonna be so easy now. All I have to do is do the engine, and then create the stories and do it up. It's so easy. Like normally, I would want to make everything myself, all the artwork. But to just download it all from somebody else, that's just genius. What are you in shock about? I don't understand. Guys, I can't believe you don't think I could make... No, I don't want to use somebody else's engine. The whole point of making a video game is to make the engine yourself. That's the funnest part of the whole project. I already started my engine, in fact. And it's been super fun. It's going to be an OpenGL engine, so it can work on Mac, and it can work on anything forever. Guys, I'm so excited, man! I want to make some games! Oh, snaps! They're free models! Why wouldn't I download them? I'd be an idiot not to. I'm gonna make a whole video game using free models. Multiple games. I'm gonna make millions of dollars. These people uploaded these free models for others to use them because they already use them in their project and they want to share the love. And I'd be a fool not to take advantage of every moment of this opportunity. A whole city? Small desert city. I can make practically a game off that city alone. That's what's going to be nice, man. I can make a whole game in that city. That will save a lot of time. Who cares if it takes me years? Everything else takes me years. Might as well do that for years as well. What else is new? Everything worth doing is going to take years. Years well spent, in my opinion. As long as I'm able to make money, why shouldn't I spend years doing something really fun? And I'm making money already. I got solid income right now. My wife's happy with it. My dad's happy with it. Guys, if I didn't have good income, you really think that my dad and my wife would let me sit at home all day playing on my computer? I don't think so. That's how you know I'm not lying. Ooh, Sci-Fi Downtown City. Definitely need that. So the trick of this, guys, is to make a video game using nothing but free models. Multiple video games, in fact. The more models I can implement, the better. Ooh, I needed this lion so bad. Oh my gosh. For my game, for my David game. There's actually a lion in that game. Or in that Bible story. Hogwarts? That's crazy. Barrels, boxes, and grain. That's so perfect, man. It's gonna be so easy to make a video game when you've already got all this stuff made. I don't know why more video game creators don't just go to this website and download everything and then just make a game with that. This is perfect for the one-man team like me. This way I can literally not have to hire an entire art department just from having everything free just handed to me. It's like stealing candy from a baby. This website's going to single-handedly guarantee I can easily make my own video game. This is amazing. My dreams are becoming a reality in the blink of an eye. I can literally just see the game coming to life in my mind just looking at this stuff. Dang, that's a game character right there, all ready to go. This is so good, guys. You have no idea. I can download an explosion? What? That's insane. How does that work? I'm blown away right now. Wow, you can download an entire tiny world? Imagine all the stuff you can get out of that, model-wise. You'd have to be an idiot not to just download everything you can find on these. It's free. With this stuff, man, ooh, it would be so easy to make a video game. Any game you want, you can do it with ease. I have a feeling that's like already in a video game or movie. In other words, untouchable. I gotta be careful not to download anything that will get me in trouble. Pedal van. I gotta have a pedal van in my game. I'm so inspired right now. This is incredible. Making a video game will be so easy now. The help of all this free stuff. That's such a cool shark. Am I gonna have a reason to put a shark in my game? We'll see if we can pull it off. If it can make sense somehow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to make several games to fit all these. But the more games, the better, right? I'm totally down, man. I would love to sit and make a bunch of video games. I wanted to go to school for that. I already worked in my game once, Lane. I've already started creating the engine. I already got it to render a box and render a bunch of different stuff. Yeah, my engine has already started being built. And I'm going to make several games using my engine. You know, maybe like 4 or 5 games. I'm a creative guy, and I'm a talented guy. My only limit is time constraints, but I have the rest of my life, and with all these models, the time constraints becomes less of a concern. If you create a badass engine, you can just drag and drop these models, and you have yourself a game all of a sudden, like very quickly. It really won't take much. Ooh, that's beautiful. These guys are saving me. Like, before getting all these free models, I think that creating my own video game was like gonna be a real tall order. But now, not so much. It's no longer such a tall order at all. I mean, this is where a lot of the work comes in. Trying to build up all of these models. That's the hard part of building a game. Like that's about a third of the work of a game is building all these models. If you just use free models and stay away as far as you can, I mean, you're probably still going to have to model some stuff and whatever, but the more free models you can implement, the better. Really. Ooh, that's a really nice model. Alright, so I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to close Firefox and reopen it. Alright, we're on page 13 of... how many? I don't even care. I can literally do this all day. This is just pure beauty to me. Like, I'm privileged to be able to download all these free models that are going to make my dreams of building multiple video games become a reality. I'm so excited. I'm really going to do this, guys. You already knew I was going to build the one game. So me announcing I'm going to build some other games as well shouldn't come as a surprise at all. That's like pretty much an obvious stage of the evolution. Swamp House, I love it. This is so good. These models are amazing. Do you know how long this stuff would take to make, like, you know, 700 models like this? And then some of these models have, like, hundreds of models within them, like when it's a room or a house or something, and they have everything furnished. This would be so much work. Like, I can do this, but it would just be a ridiculously large amount of work. So excited, man! Oh, man. I'm just downloading a bunch of free models for several video games I'm going to be creating. I'm a video game developer. And as a one-man team at this time,
It just makes sense to me to get as many free models as I can, which will save me in developing my own models. It'll save a lot of time. I think we can all agree to that. But I'm only going to take really nice models. I'm not taking these garbage ones. That bear is ugly. You know, guys, someday I'm going to have kids, and my kids can help me finish these games, too. As long as I start them and get them going, I'll have either kids or slaves or something, somebody to help. It's going to happen. Don't y'all worry about that. You know, when I used to be a 3D modeler, or when I was actively doing a lot of it, they didn't have all of this amazing quality free stuff just to download your butt off. So this is a real treat for somebody that wants to develop video games. My goodness. This is insane. I think a samurai sword can find some place in my games. Surely. It's a creepy old chair. Kratos! I could literally make God of War without even creating the model. I could just toss it in the game. Wow. That would make it a lot easier if I wanted to rip off that game. How much trouble would I get in if I made my own God of War game? That's hilarious. What if I made it and then I like pitched it to the company that does it and they're like, "Yeah, you can release it. We'll call it a fan game." I don't know. As long as I cut them in 50%. But nah, I could do better. $15 of 161. We're a tenth of the way there. USS Enterprise. Holy cow. I can make a space game with all this stuff. But I don't want to make a space game, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think... Like, I can't really see the point of it. Would any of you want to make a space game? It just seems kind of meh to me. Ooh, I need this cart. See, I feel like that's dated. This model looks like some like old game character. I need high quality, top of the line stuff. The real question is, why aren't you guys making video games? What are you doing with your life? If you're not building video games or a robot, you have some serious problems in the head. This is free3d.com. I'm downloading a whole bunch of free 3D models, which I can use in future video games I'm planning to build. I'm going to make a bunch of video games. And this is going to make it so easy. You just drag and drop. Copy paste. You got your whole game practically right there. I mean, you just got to create your story, your cinematics, your camera pans, your engine, your game mechanics, your gameplay, game design, storyboarding, all that stuff. But you save countless hours trying to make all these vehicles and trees and all this stuff. Even the characters already made. It's just going to be so much easier. I'm so thankful I found this site. I didn't realize you could buy all these, not buy, that you can download all these free. I mean, you can download whole cities and streets and then all the cars to go in it. And I've played levels of games that are just, they take place in a building. Your job is, like this Hitman 3 or something like that. I played it like 15 years ago, whatever it was. You start out the level inside a building, and there's a helicopter outside, and there's a story, and you're trapped in this building, and they found you, and there's a bunch of guards surrounding your room, and they're saying, get out with your hands up. And the whole level, which is really hard levels, you have to try to shoot your way out and then assassinate some guy who's on a street at a party outside. And it's like a crazy cool, fun level. I loved it. I'll never forget that level. And this is for like PlayStation or something. This was years ago. Uh, and it just took place on a city street. Like the models on this site, I could make that level. I could recreate the whole thing just from the models on this site. Maybe I need to create some of the uniforms of the military and different business attire and stuff, but like all the people, all the everything you'd need, all the props, the desks, the weapons, everything are already in here. So it's just going to be way, way easier. And I'm just so excited. I'm very inspired because it's almost like my game's already practically built. Like I'm finding everything I need to build multiple games, multiple levels of multiple games. It's just gonna simplify everything. And normally, like I want to do everything myself. I'm just gonna make all this stuff on my own. But I realized that why reinvent the wheel? Like all this stuff is already done. It's free. So I'm going for it, man. This is gonna speed up the development so much. I already started the game engine. Now I'm gonna have most of the artwork already done. I'm even seeing like some of the levels coming together with some of these entire environments pre-sculpted. I'm just gonna drag and drop it and drop the characters in and start storyboarding. Like I can create the stories using the models kind of to inspire me on what the story is gonna be, rather than the other way around. Create the story and then try to find the models. So in a way, I'm not a one-man band because I'm using the work of others, which I'm not paying them for, because it's a free 3D model site. So I'm using other people's work to create my game. So it's like I have a art team now working for me. They just don't realize they're working for me because they just uploaded all their work for free, which I can turn around then and create a game with. And I'm loving it. I mean, this stuff is made for a game. Weathered Ruins? That's not for a movie. It's not high enough quality for a movie. That's not for a school art project. I mean, this is literally stuff that was made for a game and probably is in some game or some abandoned game that they never finished and they canceled. This stuff was made for video games. And it makes sense to reuse it if it's really good. I mean, once you get something that looks realistic, you can't really improve on that, either or it looks real or not. Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion, Busticap. I think that my viewers will be all over beta testing my games. Absolutely. I can't imagine you guys not wanting to do that. That'd be really fun if you guys were watching me building a game all the time. You guys would be begging me for a beta key. Begging me. So there's my free testing right there. But I wouldn't even need to go through you guys. I could easily get a bunch of people to test it outside of Twitch. If I just like, I don't know, post on some gaming forum or maybe try to get on somebody's gaming podcast as like a guest person and just announce that I'm building this cool game and talk about the game and say that I'm doing beta testing. I need more people to try out the beta and whatever. I mean, it should be pretty easy. Can't you even release betas of games on Steam for free? Pretty sure you could probably do something like that even. So yeah, it's a really this is very exciting. I feel like I'm making the game in ultra high speed right now because this is like such a shortcut just to go through and just download like everything I need for the game. The game is going to be practically built. I mean, yeah, I know there's still a lot of work and I don't care, but such a great deal of the game will be already knocked out by simply downloading all the artwork. This is crazy. Even taking something like this, I could pull off those arms and put it on a different body or put the head on something else. I could use parts of this creature combined with other models to create something totally new and original. Like those hands would go great with like some other body, you know? Oh, Sea of Thieves was released as beta on Steam. Oh, I see. Yeah, I've been seeing Lyric playing that all the time. So I'm very aware of Sea of Thieves. It looks really fun, and it'd be fun to make a game like that. But I'm not planning to make a game like that per se. But I'm glad you told me that. I didn't know that that was a beta. Is it free to play though? It's beta and also free. Like beta is free. Doesn't beta mean free automatically? Also, when they finally release the official game, does beta close? Like forcing everyone that enjoyed the beta to buy the real game? Seems a little bit risky to release a beta, everybody plays it, and then they get bored of it, and then when you release the real game, they're like, "Oh, I already played that as beta," or would they come back to it like, "Oh, I love the beta. I can't wait to see the final release. I'm gonna buy that release." I wonder how that would play out. I know you guys are mad that I'm even considering something like building video games when I'm already a roboticist, and you guys are really looking forward to my robot building stuff, but I mean, life is an adventure and it's a long journey. The robot's a 30-year project. This is a 30-year project. And I chip away at all my projects. This isn't going to interfere with robot time. And I can always at some point hire people to help me too to finish out these projects that I start. I love starting new projects. My computer's just like, please leave me the heck alone. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I would definitely want to give beta keys to top streamers and YouTubers. Oh, so that's how you do it. You build hype by having only entertainers get it, but all the plebs can't. And then everybody is dying to get a copy. And then when your game releases, then everyone jumps on that. The only thing is, if you only give it to those like celebrity, basically people, they're probably not going to be submitting bug reports. So that would be more like just hype building. I don't know, beta it sounds like just marketing. And some if you're going to get it into the hands of top people like that, that's great marketing. Honestly, I feel like gaming studios and animation studios made all these contributions to this website to help people make cool new video games and stuff. Otherwise, it just becomes next to impossible to do it on your own. It takes years to make all these models. But if you just take all these models, man, it's so much easier. Look at this creepy cabin, I love it. Arrow! Oh, cool. I'm definitely gonna need arrows for at least one of my games. The act of making a video game to me is going to be really magical. I have to do it. I have to make multiple video games. I want it to I want it just to take people away, you know, and escape. Where's that landscape?
Ugh. I don't like that landscape at all. Like that wolf has some little mistakes, like its proportions are a little off, its tail's a little short. But what's cool about that is I can go in and edit these models and improve on them, which is way, way less work than trying to produce a model from scratch. So that's kind of the idea here. Ooh, they had a King Kong model? That's pretty cool. Ooh, this tent is amazing. Yeah, plus, I mean, you don't have to worry about storing all of your raw footage on your hard drive. It starts to really add up. Zombie dogs, you're kidding me! Oh, they're making it so easy. This is so easy to make a game if you can just take all this stuff. This is unbelievable. I can just see levels coming together like nothing. This is just unbelievable. That I can just hop onto this thing and get these amazing quality model after model, houses after houses. Like, my job's gonna be so easy. This pillar can go in the. Okay, so the David game, it can go in the David game. It could go in Solomon's. No, not King Saul's palace or whatever. But just having like all these rundown, wrecked stuff and whatever, it just reminds me of post-apocalyptic. I'm gonna create a post-apocalyptic game for sure. And I'm also gonna create a biblical story-based game on the life of David. So those two are for sure's, pretty much. I don't know if it's gonna be a zombie shooter on the post-apocalyptic one or whatever. I mean, it's been done so many times, but I don't care. Like, it's not been done by me. And who wouldn't sign up to play yet another zombie game? Like, it's super fun. Resident Evil, and there's like a million movies about zombies. It doesn't get old. That's gonna forever be amazing. And I'd like to create a Hitman movie. Not movie. I call it a movie because it's gonna be like a movie, but it's a video game. Haha! These chicken legs are amazing. That's definitely going in the David game. This is so exciting. '20th Century Fox model? Who would make that? That's hilarious. I feel like making a horror game like Amnesia would be so fun, or Five Nights at Freddy's. I would like to make a horror game. We'll see what happens, man. I'm just so psyched. I mean, basically a zombie survival game is a horror game, though. I could make it a really scary zombie survival game. Like, crap your pants level. I'm gonna make The Last of Us Larry style, and it's gonna be even better than The Last of Us. I feel like just downright copying certain games like that and just making them better, you know? That's cool with me. It's not even copying, it's just like, you know, obviously you can take that same game concept and make it not a copy of that game. Like, guy survives zombie apocalypse, guy goes on journey, some kind of mission, whatever it is. You tell your story. And I just think that'll be so fun, and it's going to be so much fun being able to just take all these amazing models and just drop them right into my game. What a difference maker. Not having to make all of this stuff. Ugh, just looking at all of it, I would have had to make all this stuff myself. It's painful to even imagine. I'm going to save countless hours just by doing it this way. It's going to be fun to take like this turtle and animate it. Like, I'm just trying to think right now of how I'm going to implement a turtle into like a cutscene of like my main character walking along a lake and seeing a turtle and whatever. I mean, this high quality turtle, you can like zoom in on it during a cutscene. I'm just going to base this game off of other games that I have enjoyed and that were successful. I'm going to copy a successful formula. Why reinvent the wheel? And the funniest part is, when I sell my game, I'm going to make so much money because I'm the only guy getting paid. I don't have a team to share the money with and investors and all that stuff. I get to pocket all of it. So even if the game's a bad seller, it's just pure profit to me, and it was a passion project anyways, a hobby. So let me emphasize, you guys, you're probably scared, like, oh, he's gonna forget about the robot then. No, 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 no. That's not true. The robot's still my number one passion. This is a hobby. The robot's not a hobby. The robot's more of like, well, it is a hobby too, but it's a hobby that will never be replaced. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, I know, Bustacab. That's what I'm saying. It is sickening to imagine making all these models myself. And now I don't have to. I swear, like, just going through this, I can see so many... Like I could just take a bunch of the cool cars and make a racing game. I could take... So the people, the zombies, and some of these old rundown buildings and make like a zombie level. That easy, like it's not going to take that much. This is not going to be that bad, guys. And you can simplify the making of a game just by making it single player story based. That limits how much they can roam around. It's not like a big open world. You can really cut down the complexity overall by doing it that way. Just make it a bunch of cutscenes and cinematics like the Metal Gear Solid games. This is just amazing that I can go through and just take whatever I want. It's like stealing candy from a baby. Here goes a king's palace right here. I could take that flooring. All kinds of little aspects of this I can take for the king's palace in my David game. This chessboard, I could 3D print these chess pieces and sell them. That easy. Customize them a little bit first, make them really cool, and 3D print them. That's something I've already added to my to-do list. I'm gonna sell some 3D printed stuff. I find it amazing, the quality. Look at this. I could take this boxing ring, put some characters in, and just make a boxing game. Or a wrestling game. It's so easy. That kind of game would be simple to make compared to like an open world shooter or something. Or FPS game. It's kind of a cool sword. I'll take it. Ooh, this is nice. Workspace interior. Cars. Kind of low quality, but definitely usable for like background images far away. Enable sword. What? A chicken. I want it. A Jeep, definitely want it. It's kind of a terrible Jeep, but it's free. I could probably modify it, I don't know. Or keep it far away. See, by the time my game comes out, computers will be able to handle anything you can throw at them. So, any type of like really high quality models that you couldn't put in a game right now, you will be able to put in a game at the time my game comes out, if that makes sense. So I'm not worried about like looking for low poly stuff. I'm not even worried about FPS. I can make my game totally unoptimized. Because like in 30 years from now, can you imagine like bandwidth, processing speed, none of that will matter. I love this old-fashioned town. Like you can literally easily make, look at this. You can make a whole level from this. You can make an entire video game level just taking that town. It's got the background and everything. Oh, it's so amazing. Oh, that's how you keep the characters from running off of your playable area. You build like fences and stuff. And then they can't like jump out. That's how it works. I was thinking like you can't just create the world to be infinite scrolling world. Like how do you keep the player from leaving where they're supposed to be? Because you can't make too much, right? And that's how you do it. You just make it to where they can't open certain doors and can't get past a fence or whatever. I forgot that. That's like basic video game development. Like, duh. But for some reason, I was just like concerned about that for a while. but I got it figured out now. We're good. Low poly camel. That's too low poly. Oh, I can't even use it. It's like 0 negative polys. Fallen log. It's really low poly though. I wonder if I'm like a forest. I wonder if anybody made an entire forest. This is pretty cool. Unfinished furniture? Huh. Yeah, it's like people spent so much time to make this stuff. It'd be a waste to try to remake it again. Why? Why bother? Female zombie? Making a zombie game in like a rundown city just sounds overwhelming as far as like all the work to build out all the infrastructure, all the old stuff and weathering and all that texturing work. But with this website's help, you don't have to do any of that. You could make a game like that with very little effort. Well, okay, like a ton of effort, but way less effort. This is so fun, man. Alright, I'm a quarter of the way through. This is just fun. I'm just taking what I want. Not a problem. Not a problem. I can do this all day. Water world scene. Huh. Ooh, look at this guy. Dang, I need that. Lucille baseball bat, Walking Dead. That's amazing. Doesn't look very realistic though. I'll pass. Look at this car. Dodge Ram. Oh, such a like standard vehicle. Wooden cart. Gotta have that. Old wooden table. Please! That's perfect. Bridge. Nah. A Nissan. How cute. Taking that. Sneakers. Yep. Those are nice. It's so funny that I'm getting worked on. Hey, Dimebag. Yeah, I'll create some of my own models, but the more I can get for free, the better. And yes, this is for David, but I've also decided I'm for sure going to make some game like The Last of Us or something like that, like a zombie game. I got to. I'm going to make a The Last of Us clone with my own like twists and stuff, my own story. But the same world as that. And way better graphics. I don't know what country it'll be based in. Tibet house. Hey, this looks like home. Guys, I live in a house like this here in Tibet. This is just like my home. Definitely want that teddy bear. How cute. There's always got to be some little girl who dies at the beginning of the game. So for that reason, I need the teddy bear. Take this dresser. Nice for a kid's room. The kid that's gonna die! Survival Hammer. Oh my gosh. It's like they're literally making... This website is here to help people make video games. You can see that, can't you? Survival Hammer? Seriously, why would that be on a free 3D website if it's not for people to be making video games? Like, these are obviously video game models, a lot of them. Some of them might be art projects, I don't know, but I really think a lot of these are specifically aimed at being for games. And I'm going to deliver big time. I'm going to deliver on that need. Oh my gosh, that car is so cool. But I'll pass, meh. Prehistoric trees, what? That's crazy. When I look at these models, it's like I can just see the games they're for, you know? I hate untextured models. Texturing will take a lot of time. But maybe I could take textures off one model and put it on another. Medieval weapons! Oh my gosh, I pretty much just got every weapon for the game, David. Holy crap, that was so easy. I'll take this Camaro. For my zombie game, they even had zombie Doberman dogs on here. And zombies. Like, it's going to be so easy now. So much of even the bad guys and good guys and vehicles and props and buildings are all already downloadable. Like, there's no excuse for me not to be able to make a couple games. And that's like a dream, man. Who wouldn't want to make a game? That's so cool. That's so cool. All these trees. I love all these trees. You know how hard it'd be to make a tree? Now I don't have to. Oh, yeah. A rocket launcher. Oh, man. How am I going to come up with an excuse to use that in my game? Oh, those are low quality models. Those don't look real. Cool! This gate would go perfect on the game, David. That's biblical gate right there. That looks like something from back then. Man, I'm finding a lot of stuff for my zombie game and for David game. Like, you pretty much have to make a zombie game if you even go through the site. It becomes pretty obvious. Like, it's a no-brainer. They have every model you would need to make an entire zombie game, so why wouldn't you? Including the guns, the crates, everything. There's really no choice in this. Why are there so many models of sandbags? Doesn't it cost millions to make a game? Not if you're a genius and make it yourself. It's free. It's literally free. Like 100% free. And I happen to be a genius willing to make it myself, so therefore... winning! So I could take the textures from this destroyed car and paint them onto this electric generator, and then I'll have a destroyed generator with the cool rusty textures and stuff. That's where, even if the car is not that good, the textures from it could be good for another model that I want to weather. And so if the textures look good, it's still worth taking the model. This Zeppelin reminds me of the Call of Duty Zeppelin you can shoot out of. That was cool. Definitely want this sword for David. I found so much stuff for David. I found like sheep, chicken, a lion, all kinds of stuff that go with the Bible story. These are some cute trees, but I wasn't going to go with realism, but now I am, because there's a lot of realistic stuff that I can just download. Now I had changed my mind. I was gonna make it more cartoony because it would take too much time to make stuff look realistic. But shoot, if I can just download everything ready to go, already looking realistic, then that's actually quicker that way. If you go cartoony, everything's got to have the same look and feel of cartooniness. And there's actually not that much free downloadable models of cartoony looking things. That's more rare. But realistic things also are timeless and don't those graphics wouldn't age and stuff. If they look real, they look real. So it's pretty perfect. Airplane seats. Oh my gosh, they got blood on them. That's hilarious. It's perfect. I'm going for the good stuff. Hellfire missile? No, I don't really see that fitting in a game. Do you guys think I'm capable of creating a really scary, cool video game? An intense experience? Of course you don't. Nobody ever thinks it. But that's okay, because I'm going to blow your minds when I do. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm surprised you think it costs millions to make a video game. That's totally unbelievably not true. Unbelievably not true. It's like the 10th security camera I've seen. They're everywhere. Battle axe. Spacecraft models. Flowers at night. Hey, the more plants I can get, the better. Yes, normal cars I want to. I don't want like all super cool cars. I just want some normal cars. A sheep. Not bad. I could modify that to make it look a little better though. Still worth grabbing. Look at this mammoth. That's hilarious. Stone cliffs? I'll take it. That looks like real stone. I don't know what I'll use it for, but you never know what you're gonna need down the line, you know? Whether it's a texture or whatever, stuff can come in handy. These are all resources. You never know. Once I go to make my game, I don't want to have to come back to this website. I want to have everything I need. Rusty bucket. Oh, how perfect. That's going to somehow fit. I will find a place for you, little bucket. Ooh, this terrain. Not too bad. I feel like I could improve on it, but might form a nice start to a scene. Are you guys getting hyped based upon seeing which ones I'm picking, how the quality? If I were picking crappy models, you guys would be like, "Oh, this guy's game's going to be horrible." But the fact that I have good taste in models should show you guys how good my game will be. Oh yeah. You never have enough cars. See what the images you can buy look like? Nah. I really don't want to start buying like any models, honestly. I'd rather just download everything free I can get my hands on and then use that to the best of my ability. and add as little as I can. Try to use what I got. I think that's the smartest way to do this. Why would I go out and spend $10,000 on paid models, like, for games that I'm going to be making over a long period of time? That don't make no sense. The fact that these are free is what's so compelling about it. It's like a no-brainer just to get them all. Everything that's usable. Anything decent. These stairs are too low poly. I want only really nice, high quality stuff. Look at this guy. That's pretty darn good. I'll take it. That's not bad. I could see him in a game. Maybe I can improve on it a little bit, I don't know, but he can be a background character at least, just running around. Maybe not somebody zoomed in too much, but he's certainly game worthy. No, I'm building the engine myself, and I've already started it. I'm going to be the only creator of the game. Aside from interns, my kids someday, my wife, maybe even people in my chat that want to contribute. I can create a list of assignments that you guys can do, like micro. Have you guys ever heard of the Mechanical Turk? It's like this website where everybody can contribute like some tiny part of a massive project, and you make like a penny for like a 1-minute job. Well, I could kind of crowdsource the work on my game in that way. Let you guys actually do some of the work with me, like create little assignments. I bet people that really are excited about my game and start following it would be willing to join in on, small bite-sized development tasks that they could contribute. And obviously, like I said, I could do that with interns. I could definitely see myself finding a good amount of help over the years. It's not going to be random objects, like I said. I'm creating multiple games, and some of these objects I'm just taking for their textures or to modify into other objects. But they can be like bases to start building my own and separate objects and stuff like that. What if instead of a zombie apocalypse, the game's like, the story of the game could be that an advanced AI took over like an industrial factory and killed all the workers and just started pumping out like cyborg humanoids with glowing eyes that like hunt people by night and kill them. So like there could be a bunch of dogs and people that you have to kill who are like Terminators, like glowing eyes. That'd be kind of cool. And so that would kind of be your zombie. It'd be just a zombie game, but with a twist. Instead of a zombie, it's a cyborg created by an evil artificial intelligence. And then that would also tie into the fact that I'm building a robot. People would be like, oh, this guy who created this famous game about AI and robotics also happens to be a roboticist, and look at this robot he's developing and this AI he's really developing. And then that'd kind of all come together. Then people would be like super into the game and then find out the maker of the game is a roboticist and then get hyped about following my robotics stuff. So it'd be like advertising my Art by Robot stuff. So that'd be kind of cool to tie it all together like that. And then that would kind of scratch my itch of wanting to create a post-apocalyptic game. This would be like a game right before the Matrix happened, when the machines are still in the process of killing everyone and harvesting all the people and taking over. It'd be like the Matrix before Matrix 1. Before the machines fully won. Like, you're going to try to fight for the human side. Or it'd be kind of like Terminator on the one with Christian Bale, where he's like in that post-apocalyptic world fighting the machines. A game within that world might be cool, because that's kind of futuristic, and it's a little different than just saying like, oh, here's another zombie game. So that's a interesting way to go, I think. It kind of makes sense that I would stick with the robotics theme, because that would go with my brand, so to speak. Dimebag, you gotta understand that a game is gonna have a lot of levels and scenes and stuff, and that's gonna require a lot of objects. So if you think just taking a bunch of objects is overkill, I disagree. I think that the more you take, probably the better. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna end up needing a lot of those objects. I'm sure a great deal of objects I take will never go into the game, but that's okay. I'd rather err on the side of too many objects than not enough. Those are horrible rack models. The idea here is just to create a nice big library of models to pull from, and even get inspired by just looking at them. And that will enable me to more quickly develop my game. My games. Building one game was exciting. Building multiple games, now that is really exciting. I'm super hyped. I just can't wait to build games. I'm building games right now, though. You guys realize that? You could say, well, when does the game building start? I'm literally working on it now. How can you not see that, guys? Getting all these models for the game is building the game. Like, dragging and dropping these into my engine is creating the game. Selecting these models is creating the game. We're moving huge leaps closer to a completed game just by doing this. We're a third of the way through. Goodness, there's a lot. I can't believe I'm only a third. But that's okay. I'm happy that there's a lot. The more the merrier. That rooster's so bad. So low poly. I like this dumpster though. Gosh, I'm so excited to make a game. This is gonna be so fun. An electrical outlet. That's funny. Such like random little stuff. But we need it. We need it all. Every type of tree imaginable is in here. It's amazing. I'm loving it. I'll take them all. Whew, we're only halfway there.
goodness. Baby! Hi, baby. How are you? Good. That's what I'm doing. I'm downloading a whole bunch of free 3D models for my video game. My video games, more than one. Yeah, there's all these free 3D models I'm gonna put in my game. Pretty much all the characters, weapons, buildings, everything. It's pretty much all there. What? And all the props, like garbage cans, dresser, bed, stuff to fill houses and buildings and rooms. Everything's in there. So I just drag and drop it into the game. Well, 3D model is just a series of vertices, which is like points in three-dimensional space. With each point has an X, Y, and Z coordinate. So a 3D model is just a list of points, and then the video game program will take all those points, draw them all in three-dimensional space within your virtual world, and then add texture and lighting to that in order to create the image. So having a 3D model is having a list of points that create a shape in your 3D world. What? What do you mean? What's not to understand? No, I said points, like connect the dot, like in a coloring book where you connect all the dots. But all those dots are on a flat plane, but if you create dots in 3 dimensions, then it'll have a Z point in addition to X and Y. And your game software will plot out X, Y, and Z to put each dot where it needs to be, and then it will draw a face connecting all the dots so that it'll have a shape. And then depending on the light, if you have all the lights off, you won't see anything. But if you add a light, then your program will show how the light's hitting that face. A face is defined by 3 or 4 dots or whatever. And the 4 dots make a face. And so, whether you're using triangles or... It's usually either triangles or squares in space that create... It can be thousands or millions of them to create a complex model. A three-dimensional model of an object. And that's how 3D worlds are created. But artists use 3D modeling software to create dinosaurs and people and cars and all this stuff for their school projects or for video game projects. And then some of them, whether they canceled the project or for whatever reason, they uploaded their model to share it with others on free 3D model websites. Maybe that's just their way of sharing their work, because it could just be their hobby and they just upload it for anybody to use. And
I remember back in the day, the free models were terrible, but now it's been so many years that 3D modeling has been out there that now the websites with free models have amazing stuff, like tons and tons of stuff. And I just have to assume that it's like students made these and then they're like, oh, I'm gonna put it on the free site. Students, they just felt like sharing it. I don't know. I guess people are just more into sharing these days. And it's just gonna make it so easy for me. I'm just taking everything. You already knew about my one game I'm making, right? Yeah, so I've already found a ton of stuff. I found medieval weapons. I found like old wells. I found lots of trees from that area. I found like a temple. I found bow and arrows. I found sheep, goats, chickens, all kinds of stuff. Fruit. A lot of stuff that would fit in that time period. But I'll probably still have to make a lot, but this will give me a great start. The other game's going to be like a post-apocalyptic zombie survival game. Which there's like 100 video games like that. But I was thinking maybe my twist would be that evil AI is trying to take over, like in the Matrix and in Terminator. And it's turning humans into cyborgs, and you have to hunt the cyborgs and try to stop the AI from killing everyone and taking over the world and turning us into a Matrix. What? Well, I thought that could be good advertising for my robot project, so people like find out about my game and learn about the maker of the game, and then they'll be like, oh, that's interesting that a guy who made a game about AI taking over and fighting AI robots is actually building a really cool robot in real life. I want to follow his project because that's really cool that this game maker is also building a real life robot. It doesn't matter because there's already a lot of games about, like, even, I'm just taking it from the movie The Terminator. It's already a common idea about fighting the robots and them trying to take over the world. The Matrix, Terminator, all that stuff. Just like there's a million zombie games. Also, I love zombie movies. I love The Walking Dead, so there's a lot of 3D models that basically you can tell they're for a zombie game, like broken down cars, rusty stuff. What was your question? Yeah. What? I sold them. I heard it went way up. No, I sold them after it went way up. About like $2 worth of Bitcoin, and then I sold it for like $10. Yeah, that's if you bought it 6 years ago, like when it first started. It was already higher like 3 years ago when I bought it. I bought some just to
like have a balance and see how it works. And it went really well. But then I haven't really worked on it since. It's been a whole year. And then today I was trying to find a 3D model of a ruler, which was on my normal to-do list. This is very serious, so that I could do 3D printing, which is work related. I wanted a 3D ruler, because otherwise, how do you know how big your model is going to be on the computer? I needed a way to measure models before I print them, so I can see with a ruler in the computer, you can see, like, measure the stuff and see how they're going to print, what size they'll be in real life. So it's good for scaling things. And so I found one, but then I stumbled across this website with free 3D models, and I didn't know that existed. And I saw models that were like the ones I bought for the robot project. I was like, what? You can get very high quality stuff for free? So I got excited, and I decided I'm going to download all of them. And then I also decided I'm going to make a second video game, because there's so many free models. I could pretty much make a game combined with the code for my David game with all these free models. It would be no problem to make another game, and I really wanted to make more than one game, so now I'm for sure going to make two or more, but just starting with two, and I think it's very doable now. And so I'm going through this site, but I don't want to just stop halfway. I'm opening up every model that I like, and then I'm going to download them all. And I'm just being thorough. So first I'm looking through their entire database, opening up a tab for each one, and then I'm going to download all of them over time, over days. Just download like 5 a day until I got them all. So I'm downloading like maybe 800, and I'm going to back them up to my server, and then I'll have them, and they can help me a lot. But I don't want to stop right in the middle of this. I want to finish it, because it is a nice tangible progression step that's exciting to me, to move one step closer to my dream of making video games. That's one of the big things. I literally went to school for that. I majored in that. I chose that over everything else. I was like, now that sounds really fun. I truly wanted to do it. And now I'm getting my second chance, and I'm so thankful. And I even said that even if I start the games and then someday I have a lot of money, I could pay people or hire interns to help me make more of the game. Or I could even pay like a gaming studio if I had like enough money to make certain parts of the game, or like add stuff to save me time. They could do parts of it. Or I could even have friends and people for my Twitch like make certain things that I asked them to make. But I kind of doubt I could get just random people like that. But maybe like as interns or something, like college students who know about this stuff and they're studying video game development, I could like work with them maybe. Or hire like engineers and 3D artists and stuff to make specific stuff. Contract them. Like post job listings. Hey, I need somebody to make several trees for a level, and then show them like what I want, and then have them make it. So yeah, stuff like that. But I really think this is doable for me, and it's something that will be fun, and it's not a rush. It's a hobby, and someday, I truly believe that if I finish some of these games, or if I finish these two games, I can make actually millions of dollars from game sales. And so that's kind of fun. At the end of a fun hobby, years later, you actually make a bunch of money. It's like a retirement plan. Who wouldn't like to make money doing something they like enjoy, what they would do for free? It's just validating. I always liked video games, but now I can't play them anymore. But to be able to make them is even better. Instead of video games sucking my life and time, I'm making money from video games by making them or botting them, like finding commercial ways to be part of that world without it being like a time sucker for me. Because I've already, I've seen it all. I played MMOs, I played shooting games, I played everything, and then even the latest games, I still sometimes will watch Lyric play them or whatever. So it's not like I'm missing anything. I see that nothing must have just changed. The graphics are better, but it's still pretty much the same stuff. And but I'm gonna get to have like my fun taste of it all just by making them. So yeah, I'm just excited. And these models are amazing. They look real. And the big thing, like 10 years ago, was you have to keep everything low polygon. And polygon is just how many little dots define a model. If the models are too complicated, it was too hard for the computer to draw with all that. You could do complicated stuff for animations, but not for real-time games where it needs to draw stuff and calculate it all right away so everything can move fluidly in real time. But 30 years from now, even now, computers can handle a lot more detail. So games are getting more realistic because computers can handle all the additional complexity. They're faster. And in 30 years from now, you could have infinite complexity. So that's why I'm excited to download all this super realistic, detailed, nice stuff that's real looking. Because by the time my game comes out, that will all be totally fine. So I don't have to worry about trying to find like simple models. Like they can be detailed, realistic stuff, and that's going to work fine in future computers. When my game comes out, it'll be on future computers. It's going to work great. Yeah. So I just am loving this. I really feel like getting these models is a huge step. It's almost like if I were making the game, after a lot of the coding, I would have to start making these models. Otherwise, the game has nothing in it. It's just an empty world. Well, I'm pretty much skipping all of the model making by just clicking on stuff. I'm getting them all for free. No, I'm making a straight up hard as heck game. Have you seen any games like, you ever heard of Hitman or anything? Hitman came out like 15 years ago. I'm surprised you didn't hear of it. Like, that was like old school. Have you ever seen a video game with a gun in it? She's never seen a video game that had a gun in it. Okay, well, take your little baby Mario butt out of here then. Or was it? Okay, so do you know how to play that kind of game? Oh no, you're gonna get whooped. You can't play my game. The only game you could play is if my game was like, and then the dragon came. Press A to defeat the dragon, or B to lose. You're like, A. You're like, oh, I'm good at this. I think that's the only chance you would have. But hey, maybe it'll be extra fun since you've never done that kind of game. Maybe you'll get into it, like, have more fun because you're not like bored of it or burned out on it. You know, oh wow, maybe you can help me with the story. So a lot of people might make a game, and you just start playing the game, and you just jump in and you're just killing people. And that's probably your fear. When you probably watch your brothers play, you're like, why are they just randomly shooting all these people? Why are they killing everyone? I'm gonna make mine a story. And that a lot of games are like that, but you'd have to like watch from the beginning, but you can have it be like an actual movie. But then every once in a while the movie just stops and you take over the character and you have to do something, like it will tell you, or like even you'll be talking to somebody, they'll be like, we need to break into this building and capture the enemy's CD that has the plans for the blueprints of this weapon that they're trying to sell to Russia. This is very important. We can save a lot of lives if we capture this blueprint. And then all of a sudden, you're just like sitting on a horse and riding it, and you can control it with your mouse and keyboard or whatever. So like, you have to like approach the facility, hide, crawl around, take somebody out, like, and then once you finish getting it and escaping, then you like talk to the guy again. He's like, thank you so much, you really saved us, and the next thing we need you to do is go to this thing. And so yeah, like some games are very immersive. They're like a movie, and it's almost like the parts where you actually play the game are kind of like annoying because you want to get back to the movie. So you try to get that over with so you can go back to like seeing the story unfold. And that's why I want it to be like mainly it's all about the story. And you just do like small things here and there, but mainly it's all a story. That's kind of what I think is like that's kind of now that I'm not playing the games, that's what I love to watch because it's more like watching a movie and it's more immersive for somebody who's not playing. And right now, I am picking out a bunch of free to download models to download for my David game and for my newly announced post-apocalyptic killer robot game or zombie survival game. I don't know if it's going to be killer robots. I think killer robots might actually be cooler than zombie survival because that's very futuristic. And zombie survival, even though it's a genre I really love, I kind of feel like I can make zombie robots. I mean, that's basically what they are. It'd be cyborg animals and humans that are like part robotic and they'll move quickly and climb walls and stuff and attack you. And it's going to be really scary the way they move and come at you. It's going to be like a survival game. But Somebody's gonna steal the idea. That's fine though, because I feel like there can be many robot apocalypse games, just like there's many zombie survival games. So, yeah. I'm gonna make a video announcing it, and some game company could steal my idea, but it comes down to graphics and storyline and gameplay. So even if they stole identical the idea, I don't think it'll matter. And like, let's say I announce it now, they release it in 5 years. When I release my game in 30 years, it's gonna be a new concept again. Like, I think it'll be fine if somebody steals the idea. So I'm not gonna try to keep the idea secret. Let the knockoff begin. Everybody can copy my ideas. Mine will still be well received and amazingly executed and extremely fun and highly anticipated by 10 people that watch my stream. I bet most of the people that watch my stream would actually buy a game I made if I made it on stream. And you know, as the game's approaching completion, I bet it'd get a lot of hype on Twitch. If I'm working on it all the time on Twitch, I'd get a big following. Well, I'd get a lot of viewers as I'm working on it. I definitely switch from IRL to the game development section, and people interested in game development would spread the word for me, and I think it'd be a pretty big deal pretty quickly. Although people that watch my stream may not want to buy it because they'd be so sick of it by the time it's released after watching me beta testing and all this stuff. They're like, oh, I'm over it. If I see any more of that game, I'm going to kill myself. That's another possible outcome. Because by the time I actually release a game, I would have worked on it for countless hours. Like, it's going to be a decades of work. Fallout 4 is that topic? No, it's not. Fallout 4 is man vs. machine. Yeah, but the difference is mine's going to be cyborg robots who aren't perfect. Like, they're going to be scary, like zombie looking, because they're like made in a rush, and the artificial intelligence hasn't really perfected turning humans into cyborgs. So they're gonna look like really freaky looking, and some of them will be deformed and stuff. And they're gonna come running at you, trying to kill you. I don't think Fallout 4 did that. Fallout 4, they had actual robots. Like, it wasn't cyborgs; it was just robots, right? And the robots were made by man, not by an AI gone rogue. So I'm going to spin it as cyborg robots that are like spreading kind of like a virus. And you have to try to kill them, and they're taking over the city. The time investment now of looking up these 3D models is no longer as rich. But I guess we'll be fine. I'll just keep skimming through. I'll finish. It's just that I'm clearly seeing that I'm really not finding any more that are worth grabbing. Maybe the sword? I don't know. Yeah, this is pretty good. I don't like the hilt, but the handle and the blade are pretty good. I'm gonna need a pretty good variety of swords and stuff for my David game. Ooh, that's a nice one. Okay, so there's still some things here and there, sword-wise, down here in the back of everything. Ooh, that's scary looking. I've already gotten all the good stuff off this site, for the most part. But that's okay, I'm glad we're getting to the end, because that was a lot of work. I'll take that sword. I might modify it a little bit. You can kind of take crappy models and just tweak them and make them pretty good. This is pretty good too. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, so I'm glad I didn't quit earlier, because I managed to get several decent swords, which I'm gonna need. If you're gonna have a whole battles with armies, you can't just have all the same sword. You're gonna need a lot of variety. Take this mace even. You want to have a medieval war game? You're gonna need a lot of medieval melee weapons. That's for dang sure. So, all these are gonna help me out a lot. I'll take this one. I don't like the scaling, but they're nice, simple models, and I feel like a sword made in Bible times would be pretty simple looking too. The lesser skilled artists are making some of these models that are the least popular on this website, which are listed toward the end of the listings. And incidentally, lesser skilled artists would probably also be making swords in Bible times. So it kind of fits. Like, you're not going to have these unbelievable swords being crafted by people who are like all poor living in those time periods. I'll even take this. The shading is really bad on these, but I can improve the textures later. I can add like metal textures or iron textures later, rather than the crap that these artists are putting on. But it's the design, it's the actual model that I feel like in many cases is not that bad. Might not be my go-to sword, but maybe some like NPC could be wielding that sword. I laughed at the sword and then I decided to download it after all. Guess the joke's on me. As bad as they are, it's like there's simplicity, and if you put the right textures on them, they could look pretty realistic. Being a bad model, like you're gonna expect bad, non-modern warfare looking models of weapons in biblical times. Of course, it's kind of the worse they look, the more authentic that is. Oddly enough. That's pretty much all I'm finding, those little crappy swords? No. It's kind of funny. Not bad. You just gotta picture these swords with way better textures and lighting and stuff. That's the key. Plus I can make little modifications of obvious mistakes. It'll still be faster than sculpting something from scratch myself. Wow. A lot of good weapons back here. This little kitty section of the site. And by good, I mean... Ooh, now that's a good sword. Wow. It's even got a nice metal texture. What? You don't think I work hard today, guys? Yeah, I'm into game developing. I announced I'm building a MMO video game a long time ago. It's not anything new. I just happen to be working on downloading a 3D ruler today. Stumbled across a website with a bunch of free 3D models on it. And I was like, oh, snaps. And the rest was history.